Folks, look at this beautiful game, Crusader Kings II, a main menu that we are so very used to if you've ever played this game. I thought now that 2024 is around, we should take a good look at this old game with its million DLCs and what it feels like to play it, because I haven't played it in maybe 2, maybe even 3 years. Basically, when CK3 came out, I just dropped this game, got all of the achievements and then moved on. And speaking of which, when did you last play this game? Because I know that there are some really hardcore fans of it, but I think most of the CK2 players actually did move on into CK3. So yeah, for me, it has been quite some time, and oh my god, this is something, I mean, you gotta miss it, right? When you play only CK3, you got 2 start dates, 867 and 1066. I don't miss 769, I do miss 936. You know, if you've never played CK2, then you won't know this, but you can literally pick any day and any month and any year between 1066 and I think it's 1337, right? Yeah, there it is. This is the entire time frame that you can play in CK2. Although, and don't tell anybody this, nobody's ever played these start dates. I think the most popular start dates are like 769, which is Charlemagne. There it is, yep, there is Charlemagne himself, King Karl of West Francia. Then the Viking Age, of course, 867, you can play that in CK3 as well. The Iron Century was added very, very late into the development cycle of CK2, and it's such a good start date. The Fatimids are just ready to march into Egypt. You have, of course, the formation of the Holy Roman Empire under King Otto the Great. And then here we have 1066, and we have a really interesting second 1066 start date, which is after William wins his war. I've never used this one, but it does exist. The other really good start dates that I'm missing are actually just these 3. The Alexiad is basically after the Rum Sultanate moved in. The Third Crusade is right when we have Jerusalem at its biggest. And then the Latin Empire 1204. I mean, this is just a great start date. None of these are, of course, in CK3. I do miss them slightly, but I'll be honest with you, most of the time I just play 1066 anyway. Now, the big question here is, who do we play? There's a lot going on here. With all the DLC, I can actually play everybody on the map, historically speaking. Before the old guards and such, you could only play Catholics, but that's obviously no longer the case. We are going to play somebody very, very vanilla. It's going to be Duke William the Conqueror, soon to be the Conqueror. We're going to play him, and we're going to check out just, you know, how all of this works, because I've done this run so often in CK2 and in CK3, it'll be nice to revisit it. Oh, and oh my god, I forgot about this. Look at these game rules. That is too many game rules, I'm sorry. Oh, right, they have the Northern Crusade and the Fourth Crusade. Oh my god, I'm missing them so much from CK3. That, yeah, the fact that we don't have any of this is so painful. The Reconquista here is definitely way worse than CK2, although it is very interesting, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty cool one. They also do have the Children's Crusade. Man, they have a whole bunch of stuff that just is kind of cool. Welcome to Crusader Kings II. You know, CK2 was one of those games that still belonged to the very early starter games in Paradox Interactive, and they always used to start you off just in this pure province overview map mode. I remember, actually, that the trailers for this game and its DLCs were also recorded in this map mode. They were like, you gotta look at this map, it's so beautiful, it's so gorgeous. Yeah, not really. Obviously, we're going to play on this mode, right? We're never going to use the other one again. Alright, but anyway, Duke William II, the Bastard of Normandy. This is an interface that I haven't seen in such a long time. Culture wasn't very important at all in CK2, except some cultures can, for example, raid overseas, and that includes the Normans. I don't think we can still do this because we are feudal. Is this true? I think that's correct. Anyway, we have feudal government, obviously we are Catholic. Now, Catholicism works all pretty similar to how it is in CK3, although CK3 expands a lot on the features of religion, and then expands not at all on, for example, the papal election and so on. Although I'm going to be honest with you, and CK2 defenders will hate me for this. This right here sucks. That is not how they did it in the medieval period. That is completely, it just is stupid. The Saint stuff, now that is amazing. Not sure that we're going to see this, but yeah, I love some Saint stuff in my game. Alright, but back to William right here. We are married, we have plenty of children, and we are at war. We are also hostile to King Harald IV of Norway because he's also at war, of course, going in for England as well. We gotta choose a focus. This has morphed, of course, into our proper lifestyle focuses in CK3. I think we're just gonna go with war right here. If I'm not mistaken, all these basically do is they give you a pool of events that otherwise wouldn't be open to you, besides, of course, you know, the benefits that you get, like diplomacy or martial and so on. I don't think they do much more than that. Obviously, you can't get any skills, like any particular things, like the skill trees in CK3. But yeah, but this right here, on the other hand, is something that I dearly, dearly miss. My god. We're now so much better with our focuses and so on, but the ambitions are something that we are missing. Because in CK3, whenever you have a goal, it's a goal that exists solely in your mind, which means you're not communicating this to the game and the game can't react to it. Here, on the other hand, I can say become King of France. That is because de jure we are, of course, a part of France right there. I could also alternatively say become a counselor, groom an heir, acquire a title, and so on. I need ambitions in CK3. Seriously, I can't talk about this enough. I think this is such an amazing system because it also means that if I say I want to make a friend, the game can be like, hey, here are a couple of people that might be your friends. I really need this stuff. For the time being, I think, we're not going to do King of France. I think we're just going to go ahead with, you know what, become a counselor should be pretty easy. Alright, now besides this, we can take an important decision. My god, this window is so small. They actually had mods that made this UI 1080p because you can see, just look at this. It's like there's just all this empty space doing nothing. And different from CK3, they essentially only use the left side, not the right side ever when doing anything in menus. So yeah, it doesn't really do much for us here. I'm gonna just disable this so that the notification goes away. We don't care about this, or, well, basically any of these. Oh, I gotta set the childhood focus. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not even sure. Do I like the CK2 childhood focus stuff better than I like the stuff in CK3? If I do remember this correctly, basically just set all the boys at all times to struggle because it's good. Marshall in CK2 is absolutely goated, whereas in CK3 I'm a lot more varied, so I guess it's a good thing what they've done in CK3. Alright, but having said all of that, let's actually take a look at our army. We have a massive amount of special troops. Yeah, take a look at this. This is the Norman army. If I'm not mistaken, yep, they are all special event troops that will go away, I assume, when we die. Does that actually say anywhere? I don't think it does say that anywhere at all, huh? Ah, the army. You can see I've already prepared us here. I've put us into a central flank right here. A lot of people in CK3 are missing the flanks from CK2, and I don't really get it, because again, most people don't use sub-commanders, none of that stuff is involved, and quite frankly, the people that really do min-max this most of the time just run around with one-unit armies that are all stacked in one flank so that they can rout everybody else. I'm just gonna do it like this. It's completely fine. I will say, I do miss it from when these buildings give you different types of troops, right? If we build up, for example, let's say the keep, no, actually, let's say this right here, you get light infantry and archers. In CK3, any building only really gives you, you know, just generic manpower levies, whereas your men-at-arms are what you actually build up to specialize. It's easier to specialize there, but it's just kind of cool to see really varied armies, right? If you take a look at this right here, look at all these different unit types that are participating, rather than just actual levy, right? It's kind of boring, but I get why they made the change. I mean, I'll be honest with you, warfare in CK3 isn't that engaging, and I think that's fine, because CK3 does a lot of other things. But I will say CK2 had a lot more to do, although I can't say that I think it was exactly better. Anyway, let's hire some mercenaries because I definitely don't want to lose this war. Alright, we're gonna go with a great company and I'm gonna stack everything in the central flank. That is just how we run this right here. And I think then we shall embark and go towards England. The capital here is in Middlesex. If we could capture anybody, that would be amazing. Oh my god. And let's talk of the elephant in the room right here. Fleets. We had fleet vessels. We had actual, of course, you know, fleet levies and so on that you needed to raise, that your vessels needed to pay for. And they're gone in CK3. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's good. I think that's really good. I would like to see an eventual system where our ships are actually, you know, for example, mustered. They're taken from merchants in our area and so on. But people just have no idea how navies actually worked in this time frame, so hey, it's cool, don't worry about it. I'm not missing that part from CK3. Oh, and what I just realized is, WASD here, very, very clearly, was not yet used to move around on the map. Right, that's the arrow keys, oh god. I haven't done that in ages. Now this actually reminds me of one of my favorite exploits. They patched it out, I think in like, oh man, honestly I don't even know the version number, but relatively late in CK2 unless I'm mistaken here, and that was boat bombing. You have to understand that the AI in CK2 had no understanding if you had troops on a ship ever. And when, for example, somebody invades your coastal area, you would just take the ship and then go into the port and boom, you're the defender, you have no malices, everything is fine. They changed that. But yeah, boat bombing and anything related to boats in CK2 was really, really big for the longest time. Anyway, as they are rallying their troops, let's just smash them. And yeah, look at that. We are completely destroying them. I don't think that they will ever be able to touch us. Ah, sieges. Right. Since only the county is on the map instead of every single barony, we have to siege through every barony in a county to actually fully occupy it. To get our war goal, I'm pretty sure we just have to have Middlesex here. Every 12 days they lose 16%, and after 5 additional days I can go ahead and attempt an assault, which, especially in the late game, you would basically do all the time. You would just speed carpet siege everything. You can still do that in CK3, it's basically the exact same thing. Oh, I remember this. Oh my god, that had completely escaped me. If you took over a nomad province, because nomad provinces are empty, you would have to build a fort, otherwise it wouldn't remain occupied. God damn it, this game. Man, that was at least interesting. I do miss nomads. I don't think they're high priority in CK3, honestly, but man, I do miss them. They were such jank, they were so ridiculous in CK2. But it's just a bit of a different experience, right? And that's always nice to have it. If you go to a completely different area in the map and it just feels different. And oh my god, right, the council tasks and tech. I remember tech. It was actually on a per province basis rather than on a culture basis. It spreads out then, of course, so kind of per culture, but not really. And in our case, you can see right here, if we take a look at these tech maps, yep, you have a really difference here in basically just cultural distribution, tech distribution, and so on. Obviously, the areas in the Byzantine Empire and here in Mesopotamia are still the best, but what you would do as a really low-tech nation is just research military technology wherever you live, and then take your spy master and study technology in Constantinople. That will net you quicker progress and make it so that your spy master will disappear every so often. Don't worry about it, okay? It's not my problem. And oh my god, we are not even a year. I'm pretty sure we're like 2 months into the game here. And we're already being recruited for the Devil Worshippers. This goddamn game, man. I have said it a million times now, and I really mean it. I hate the Society DLC. I hate the Devil Worshippers, okay? People keep going on. They drone on and on about CK3 being so, you know, it's just fart jokes and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but CK2 was way worse. I'm having dinner and plenty of drinks with this nerd. It's lovely, yet what I'm most charmed by is Hughes himself. Why else would I not immediately stop a conversation which has slowly begun to touch upon some almost heretical ideas? I hate being a devil worshipper, but it's my destiny apparently. Yeah, okay, sure, let's question God. It's so comical. And you know what I really notice now actually is that these events are so much shorter than any given event in CK3. Writing a CK3 event is legit like 3 or 4 times as long as this is, which means, I mean, hey, yeah, we're just gonna get a bit of event spam right here. You truly are a witch then. Can you help me win on the battlefield? Yep, that's definitely... definitely how that works. Now we just wait, a woman will approach, will have intercourse with us, and then we join the society. I've done it a million times. God damn it, CK2. This was the one recording where I was like, CK2, show me everything you got, and they were like, have you tried worshipping the devil though? Okay. You know, looking at this now, I actually don't remember what the formula was. I think you wanted about 10 times the size of the garrison in your army to assault and not be wiped from the assault. So I'm pretty sure I can just go ahead and do it here again. Yeah, wow, we basically lost nobody and sieged Middlesex down in no time. We're gonna probably just have one battle here and then be good. We will have to fight Harold of Norway, but we'll be okay, I think. Let's take a look at this battle right here. We have 16,000 troops in just one of our front lines, or one of our flanks. I'm pretty sure we're gonna wipe them here, because that's just how that works with the flanks. Oh, and we are also getting a trait here. I think this is actually a lifestyle event, so a focus event, I should say. How many troops, what kind of troops do we have? We have a lot of heavy troops. You know what, I'm gonna say, yep, I am an expert in heavy troops. Look at that. This is what I mean. Since everything is in one flank, instead of all these flanks just focusing each other down, we are zeroing in on a tiny amount of troops that gets instantly wiped, and it's toast. Hey, but I will tell you, having tactics is cool. This is something that I'm really missing from CK3. There's no depth there at all. Yeah, so this will now take a lot longer because they're basically cutting down on how many troops are fighting at the same time, despite us having massive numerical advantage. Alright, and now we have become a devil worshipper, and we have the very classic Dude, I love this though, that is cute as hell. We have the very classic outfit that we will now have forever, because that is how this works, and now we are in the cookie clicker that everybody but me loves. where we just wait for power to amass. Sometimes we may sacrifice people to get more dark power quickly, all that sort of stuff. But primarily we're just waiting until we become the head, and then we have magical powers. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you this, I'm having a good time playing this game, but the game is delivering every piece of content that I've criticized in the past within just 1 year of game time. We're now going to go out and commit a comedically horrible act, by which I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to go ahead. Yep, there you go. Somehow we have poisoned the entire tavern and everybody has gone crazy because that is the serious tone of Crusader Kings II right here. Well, I'm cruel now anyway, so there you go. I got some dark power to go with it. I did not remember that societies had quests. You know what? I'm gonna say it. That's the one thing that can redeem them in my eye. I really like the idea here of saying, okay, we need to go to Le Tréport and, you know, desecrate it. It's kind of weird because it's Lucifer's own, but hey, be that as it may, I can do that. Give me a second here, right? How does this work? We go right there, right-click, desecrate temple. Okay, and I assume we now actually... It's like a mini quest? Yeah. And I already know we're gonna sneak in and we're gonna kill a priest that is just waiting there. Is this true? Yeah, there he is. I knew it. Dude, I'm sorry. Give me the dark power, okay? Just give me magic, pal. And that's it. We have won another battle. You can see we're wiping them here because I have stacked the center flank. Again, most people don't want to hear this, but that's how you play this game. Having assaulted all these holdings, by the way, I'm getting PTSD because when I was 100%ing CK2, there's one achievement where you have to take the entire European continent and siege it all down as the Mongols and have it all under your control. I did that in, I think, 2 live streams. I think it was like 10 hours in total, and it was all just me pressing the assault button. Oh my god, I had just pushed that out of my memory. That was an insane thing to do. Anyway, offer peace and force demands. We have won and find ourselves now in a war against none other than, of course, our good friend Harold. Oh, and Bloodlines. Oh, I miss Bloodlines. I really miss Bloodlines. CK2 had Bloodlines and they were so neat. You could stack them, you could gather them. That's cool and all. In CK3 we have something similar. It's of course the Dynasty Legacies, but it's not quite the same. I want this stuff back. It's just so nice to see an old ancestor that did something. It's really, really cool. I would like that to return for sure. Anyway, we have defensive alliances. It basically is just an anti-blob mechanism. They made it so that you don't even need to have it on if you are in, you know, going achievement hunting because it's so annoying. It's awful. Anyway, we have that apparently, right? And so I'm threatening now. And yeah, you can see right here what happens at these threat levels. We are just gonna go ahead and wait and not do anything else. I need a new ambition, because apparently I can't be counselor anymore. I'm gonna groom an heir, I guess. It's one of the worst ambitions, really, because it gives you more children, and it lasts until this guy grows up, but that's pretty soon, so hey, we should be perfectly fine. Anyway, we are also over our domain limit, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually hand some titles out. Give me a moment here. I think I'm gonna take this battle right here. This is going to be our first real battle. It's a pretty comparable army size here. But with the way we are stacked, I think we're gonna do fine. They form the defensive pact. Yep, that's what I thought. Young Richard is showing much petty cruelty towards others. Yes, be ambitious. Very cool. We are at a disadvantage here. We have a river crossing. We're not doing so hard, but... Wow, what a complex battle system. Yes, I don't want to dunk on it too hard, but... Come on, okay? I've played this game 15 times over. I know exactly how this works. It's not as complex as you think it was, okay? And now that I'm looking at this, CK2 didn't always have Shattered Retreat. Shattered Retreat, I think, was introduced to CK2 and EU4 in like 2016, 2017 maybe. I can't quite remember. But before that, they would just retreat one area away and you would just immediately catch them. I remember this was a huge deal. People were so mad about Shattered Retreat. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure whether I can check now, but I'm pretty sure that that is a game rule. I think you can just turn that off because people were so annoyed by it. It's such a good thing, such a great addition. Alright, and we have won. Harold, goodbye. I still remember how to play this game, I can tell you that much. Anyway, new important decisions are available. Oh, coronations. I miss them so badly. They're not that complex here, but I do miss them. Right, let's start preparing. Obviously, the Pope should be crowning me. I mean, come on. He might actually demand papal investiture here. I'm gonna let this guy run. Yeah, there he goes. He demands papal investiture. Now, this is really, really cool. Because in CK2 you have a ton of different laws. You can see it right here. We are on free investiture right now, which means we are a bit more separate from the church. We are freer than they are. It's of course the investiture crisis, a huge issue of the medieval period. And he's gonna say, hey, please do this. And I'm gonna say, cool, yeah, hey, as long as you make it to London and crown me, I am good with that. And this guy right here, the guy that we just defeated, actually declined to come to the coronation. I wonder why. Anyway, they're all coming now to crown me here. But let's talk a bit about the laws. My god, there are so many laws here. Status of women still exists in CK3, but is now a cultural thing. Revoked title also exists. I actually like that being a part of the crown authority, plus whatever is written in the vassal contract, for sure. Administration here, right, that allows you to do a couple of different things, like, for example, succession laws. Other than that, honestly, I don't really miss these laws. I'm looking over this now. What I miss is actually everything. I never really screwed around with this either, just for the record. We can do that now in vassal contracts, so this is also in CK3. The only thing I miss, I think, is this. Having the council participate in war declarations, imprisonment, and so on was a really cool thing. I liked that a lot. I also, most of the time, when I played this game, left this roughly somewhere where the council could do a couple of things at the very least, just because it made people happy. If you go super council power abolished, people will be so mad at you that what's the point? You know, just keep them happy, healthy, and alive, and everybody will be fine. Dude, these events are so much smaller than any event in CK3. Events in CK3 are above and beyond anything here in CK2, but I love the soundscape. CK2's soundscape is so goddamn good. Anyway, we got crowned by the Pope. Was very important, obviously. I'm gonna reveal that guy's affair. Listen, I don't know you. I don't care about you. Hosting a grand tournament in CK3, really cool. In CK2, really bad. Let's do it. Oh, look at that. My liege, this guy got killed during the tournament. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you ever implement a feature into your game that has an option that says, please deactivate the feature, it's not a good feature. There's gonna be a million people just going, I got wounded. Hey, I got wounded. I also got wounded. Yep, this is most certainly a gameplay feature right here. Most unfortunate indeed. Anyways, let's take a look at Lucifer's Own. We can sacrifice somebody to Satan if I got anybody in my prison. Oh, I do. Hello, Harold. Oh my god. Humiliate, mutilate, torture, sacrifice to Satan, throw an oubliette, put under house arrest. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Anyway, I'm gonna sacrifice you to Satan. Will nobody know? How would they know? Nobody will know, I guess. Okay. See you in hell, pal. Did nobody know? Oh. Do people like... Do I have a reputation now? Does anybody dislike me or something? No. Okay. And there you go. You reap what you sow. I can feel it. It is inside of me. The mesmerizing voice, the sweet touch of my dark savior. Satan's gift. The beautiful magic is flowing freely through my veins. Sensation is dizzying, radiant, breathtaking. Nothing in the world can stop me now. I am a lunatic. Oh man, this is just such a different thing to look at compared to CK3's very few compact traits. But yeah, look at that. We are insane now. And at the same time, by the way, we are also in possession of Stonehenge. I could loot it. Oh, you know, I'm gonna stop looting actually. Let's not do that. Can I build the next stage? I would have to be pagan, so that's definitely not gonna work out. Yeah. I really like this. I like Great Wonders. I hope they're coming back to CK3. I can only really at all times praise what Thalassic did in Imperator Rome. If you haven't taken a look at Great Wonders there, you basically build them and over time they become more important. They can age basically into giving you better modifiers and so on. I want that. I want this combined with the Imperator Rome stuff. It would be so good in CK3. Right, so nothing I can do with Stonehenge. Good to know. I could at some point, I'm sure, build my own... How would you even do that? I don't know how you build a great work. Yeah, you know what? I don't even know how to do it. So, oh, there we are. Here's how you do it. Okay, right. I want to say the Great Library was really good, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the Royal Palace, I'm not sure at all. I think because I'm insane, I can build the Great Pyramid, no? That is because I'm insane, right? Oh, well, look at that. This guy caught our spy master spying in Constantinople. Now, you might think that there would be any consequences, but there are. Nobody cares. You can actually put them in here, and they will just go ahead and get themselves kidnapped. If you had a very powerful, unruly vassal, send him to Constantinople. They're going to capture him soon enough and throw him into prison. Oh, and I am attending one of my vassal's feasts, and just randomly... I will become a cannibal. Late into the third day of feasting, I sit awake alone contemplating the revelries. Next to me on a couch lies one of my companions, sleeping, a deep drunken sleep, defenseless and beautiful, skin glowing in the candlelight. Listen, I love this. I think this is a great game, but like, this is so out of left field, like, just randomly. You know what? Yeah, screw it. You know what I do really, really miss? Tributaries. Look at that. The Kievan Rus has all of these folks as their tributaries. I love that so much. It's so cool. You could have two different types of tributaries as well, a permanent and a temporary one. And in general, it's just really, really cool to see a name stretched out of a territory that isn't directly aligned with you, but indeed owes you some tribute. I really like that. I hope that that comes back as soon as possible, because that's just a really cool feature. Oh, look at you guys. How nice for you to inherit that county. I wonder what happened to your dad. And I have become a poet. You know, the one thing that I will say here for sure is that I think I've seen more events in CK2 just randomly popping off than I've ever seen them in CK3. However, they are like... they just kind of happen. Like, you just get one event, hey, you want to write a book, and then you're a poet. It never goes... I really feel like I've been on the path to become a poet for quite some time now. CK3 definitely excels there, especially with the activities added. But hey, it's a lot of events that you will see. The problem is that even after years of not having played this game, when I see an event, I'm like, yep, I know exactly what this is. So it's quite repetitive. You know what isn't repetitive, though? This illness. Look at that. I love that. Measles. Right, there was this whole thing. We can close the gates, obviously, but I can also build a couple of hospitals. I'm pretty sure sickness comes about more and more the richer your county is. I could be wrong here, but I'm... oh, God. Wait a minute. Is there a map mode? Oh, yeah, there is. Look at my... where's my defensive pact? I need to see a defensive pact. Oh, look at that. All of these folks are defensive pacts against me. Yeah, let's just chill. All right, and now that we are in this position, I will obviously immediately summon a familiar, which, the cat, a wolf, it's just bonuses. Okay, you know what, I'll take a wolf, sure. Oh, but check this out. I can send this guy to be a mercenary. Richard of the Middle Saxian Band. And now he can grow that, and it will make me money every time. Now and again, I will have to invest, but it will make me money. Man, in CK3, in that one roleplay playthrough we did, I had this long line of people, and one of them, completely out of my control, became a mercenary captain. That was so cool, and I hated it, because there's nothing you can do with that in CK3. In CK2, we got that guy, and he's gonna go on his own adventures. He's gonna be a cool dude. Oh, and I died. I am deceased. Did all my troops stand down? They did. No, they're here. They're still here. Okay, that is good. Oh, and the threat doesn't even go away between deaths. Oh, that is so nasty. Well, I guess we'll just be sitting around again. Honestly, this is kind of crazy. I expected to go into this and come out and being like, wow, I missed so much of CK2, and this is still really, really awesome. Like, I forgot half the systems that we're interacting with here, and it's neat to see them being used, but I'm also gonna be honest with you, it makes me appreciate CK3 that much more. Yeah, I miss grand activities, I miss the really cool event connections, that sort of stuff. There's a lot that I miss here. And looking at this now, I'm thinking, can you only go on a pilgrimage if you have... oh, you actually need the focus. Wow, okay, let's go on a pilgrimage. Let's go to Jerusalem. In CK3, you know how that goes. You actually travel around, you do all that stuff. I don't think that's how it's gonna go here. We started, my journey begins, and I have diarrhea. What are you gonna do about it? I've arrived, Jerusalem. Everybody please, I have a cleaner behind me, okay? Keep it together. Oh, look at that, a heresy has appeared. I don't remember how that works at all. We got moral authority, of course, and I'm pretty sure the lower it is, the more will heresies pop up. But how exactly does it decide to do it? I have no clue. I'm pretty sure, even converting to a heresy, you can only really do if you yourself have it in your realm, or if your spouse has it. I think it's a lot more limited than it is in CK3. In CK3, it just becomes cheaper with those circumstances, but it's never really impossible. And of course, I mean, being a heresy here means that you have fewer things that you can do. Only if you take over your mother faith will you actually get access to stuff like head of faith and so on. That is also different in CK3. Yeah, there's a lot more going on there for you if you are a heretic compared to what is going on here. Look at that. We got a king of Lotharingia. That's not a surprise. They always form, be it in CK2 or CK3. Oh, yep, that's a classic. Oh, and I do miss this. This was initiated by the King of Sweden. And now they are converting to Catholicism. There are some follow-up events as well, nothing too fancy, but that stuff is going on. I miss mass conversions. What was this? Was this Holy Fury? Because that would be really late, but I think it was actually Holy Fury, right? When this was introduced together with the Northern Crusades. Oh, that is cool. God has finally touched them. Yeah, they just remain what they are the entirety of the game in CK3. I think the most important tech, if I'm not mistaken here, is basically legalism for the additional laws, then military organization and siege equipment, right? Yeah, the siege speed is so good. Jesus Christ, that's amazing. Then the rest is nice. None of this is really bad, but obviously this is just really good. And yeah, we are going ahead, at least in our region here, just because I think it's important to invest in this, but the more the merrier. I need more. That's really all I can say there. Oh, and there you go. This is perfect. Crusader Kings, Deus Vult indeed. So he's going to call for a crusade anytime now. And obviously I'm going to go down there. Not to Jerusalem, but I will go down there. Yes, my men are ready to Jerusalem indeed. And oh my god, I haven't seen this interface in so long. And I'm going to be honest with you, this interface is better than anything that we currently have in CK3, just interface-wise. My beneficiary will get all the titles. It doesn't actually matter, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Khal Drogo right there, okay. Do we have somebody that is actually good? Like at whatever they're doing? I'm going to take Yvonne, my sister. She's going to be my beneficiary. And we're going to do something that we can't do in CK3 that I still love and that I need in CK3 so desperately. In 566 days. We're going to obviously sail down there early, but the big deal is that we can also get a different kind of duchy. A Crusader duchy. We're going to try to get that under control indeed. Oh my god, stop inviting me to the Satanists. I'm actually losing it. Do not speak of this. I will lose my mind. And that is this right here. We can go ahead and I think it's this guy. Yeah, create a Crusader state. I love this so much. I'm going to pay that money, I'm going to pay that prestige, and now we can actually decide what we do. Should our beneficiary get this state or should we get it? And honestly, I'm going to give up being Queen of England. It is what it is. What are you going to do about it? I will be settling right here. I will leave England behind to settle down in Damietta personally. There you go. I miss Mary. Right, I'm her right now. And now we're going to take over as Emira Mary the Crusader of Damietta. Yes. Boom. I love to see it. Stop being occupied. Thank you very much. How is our troop situation looking? 11k. This is gorgeous. And now we are a Crusader duchy right here in the era of the Crusades. And we have Damietta itself. I love this feature and I have a lot of praise for CK2, but also, man, this really did remind me just how much I like CK3. Let me know what you're playing regularly in CK2 or what you're doing in general, and I'll leave you right here as the single Crusader Duchess of Damietta. See you later, alligator.